Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gordon. We are back with another video. Today we're looking at some price action updates for SUI here in November 2025. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button below. Make sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification icon, and grab your free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin. It's waiting for you in the description of this video. Grab that below and let's talk about SUI. Okay, guys, I have been covering SUI extensively on the channel for the past 2 years. And yes, it has been a rough few weeks for SUI in the markets. We know when Bitcoin has a drawdown, SUI feels those effects on a larger, more amplified percentage basis. And so going all the way back to October 7th, even that first week of October, we are substantially down. We were up at $3.66 here in that first week of October. We are 50% down on the price of SUI over the past 6 or so weeks. We have come into this channel area that I have identified on the chart here for the price action of SUI. We have some good support going back to this area from April of 2025, and obviously once again here back in November of 2024 when we had that first leg up. Initially we found support and then we moved much higher. So this area between $1.70 and $1.90, I'm hoping that we can find some good support here, because if we have to break lower than this, we could be coming substantially lower. I think we might come to $1.50 first, but we might have to come even lower than that. So I do have a fib retracement drawn in here on the chart just to kind of highlight where we could find that next area of support if we break this particular channel. We do have the 786 here right around that $1.50 mark. That's what I was alluding to just a few minutes ago. I would prefer to see us hold this channel, accumulate here before moving a little bit higher. But if we have to come lower, that $1.50 area at the 786 on the fib retracement would be the next key area I'd be keeping an eye on. And then obviously, if we have to come lower than that, we're coming back into the territory that we haven't been at since those August, July 2024 lows, all the way down at that 60 cents area. So hopefully we don't have to come all the way down there, but let's see what happens. Some of this is going to be predicated on what Bitcoin and the rest of the altcoin market does, because we are seeing some drawdowns with Bitcoin pulling back here below that 50-week EMA. I'd be curious to see what that looks like for SUI as well. If we bring up, let's hide that fib retracement, bring up the weekly chart and take a look at the 50-week EMA. We did lose that a number of weeks ago already, and we've broken substantially lower. So that 50-week EMA specified by this orange line on the chart here, we have come all the way lower. Let's take a quick look on the RSI here, because I would be curious to know where we are finding this right here. We're down at about 35 here on the RSI. Let's bring up the stochastic as well, just to take a very quick look at it, because we are all the way down here on the stochastic RSI. Very, very low. We are in very much oversold territory here. And I do think, last time we came down into this area, we got a very strong move to the upside about 3 to 4 weeks later. So that price action that had us all the way down here was your last buying opportunity back at those lows in this specific channel for SUI in April of 2025 when we hit that $1.70 area. And so, forgetting what happened here with that October 10th flash crash, that last drawdown into the bottom of the stochastic RSI with prices down here in that first week of April, we saw the RSI shooting back to the upside here, getting all the way up to overbought territory by the time we got into the middle to end of May. And that coincided with price action of SUI getting all the way up to these $4.20 highs. So again, not financial advice, guys. Always do your own research. But historically speaking, when we have come down into this specific area, it has served as a good buying opportunity. Again, you can see here we stayed down at these prices for a few weeks around that 80 cents area all the way back in the summer of 2024, eventually getting that move to the upside, getting back up into overbought area by the time we got into August. And then we had a much bigger run here, a nice run up into the middle of October before a small pullback and then another rally higher. So, again, not financial advice. Make sure to do your own research on both the technicals and the fundamentals. But historically speaking, this has not been a bad zone to accumulate some SUI, given that we are so oversold at this moment in time. Okay, let's wait and see what happens here. We are looking at this on the weekly right now. Let's zoom back into the daily because, again, I do want to see us holding in this particular zone. The other chart that I'm curious to take a look at is SUI dominance. Again, with price action moving to the downside, we identified this critical level of support here a few weeks ago in my other SUI video. And again, we are looking like we're just breaking below this area. I was hoping we were going to hold here on the daily chart for the price action of SUI on SUI dominance, holding above that 0.21% area. We have broken a little bit lower. Now, it's not detrimental because we did wick all the way down to this 0.1975 area back here in October of 2024, but the bodies of these candles closing below that 0.21% area does have me wondering, are we going to have to come a little bit lower here for SUI dominance before we find some solid support? So again, zooming out on the weekly here, if we take a look and measure this from the swing low to the swing high using a fib retracement, I'd be curious to see where we could find some support here on this particular chart. And again, we have already lost the 618, looking like we might need to come down to this area at 0.16% before we find a substantial level of support. Again, not drawn perfectly here on the weekly. I'm just going to have to tweak it ever so slightly. But yeah, it's looking like we might have to come down there if we see this weekly candle closing below this level of support. Again, we do have 36 hours before the close of this weekly candle at the time of me recording this actual video. So you guys can keep an eye on that over the coming days. You'll probably have already seen this play out by the time this video is live. So make sure to go and check the SUI dominance chart for yourself. So things are looking bloody for SUI. Yes, it is still one of my favorite layer one blockchain solutions. And there's so much good stuff being built out on top of SUI. I've covered extensive videos on all the top protocols like Turbo Finance, DEXs like CEDIS, lending and borrowing protocols like Navi and SUI Lend. You can check out all those videos on the channel. And what gets me still excited about SUI is the fact that you have all those protocols built on top of the network that are scaling and growing and have seen fantastic growth over the past 2 years. And I do still think SUI has more room for upside by the peak of this cycle. Now, there is debate as to whether we have seen the peak of the cycle here, with Bitcoin obviously being the key factor to consider there. This 126 high, we have been retesting lows at 95K here over the past couple of days, but I'm still waiting to get confirmation on all of this over the next week or two, watching that 50-week EMA for Bitcoin. We closed above it last week. We're below it right now. Again, we have to wait to see what transpires with this weekly candle in the next day or two. But even if it does close below it, we've seen that happen in previous cycles before getting a bounce back to the upside. We saw that happen here in June of 2021 before having another big rally for the final 6 months of 2021. So again, just because we close below here does not mean we're down and out. And even if 2126 was the peak of the cycle, it doesn't have me very worried about the drawdown. We might have to draw down to 70, 75, but I would be a buyer at those areas. So again, SUI is going to have to wait and see, I think, what happens with Bitcoin. Yes, it could have a run of its own, but I do think it hasn't fully decoupled from Bitcoin and the rest of the altcoin market just yet. So that is what I'm seeing on the SUI chart right now, guys. Again, not a bad buying zone historically, like I mentioned, not financial advice. Always do your own research. Some of the key metrics on SUI are still looking very strong from an on-chain technical standpoint. Stablecoin supply has been growing here from 200 million at the beginning of the year to over 500 million right now. We are seeing consistent chain transactions here happening. Again, been very steady around that kind of 5 to 6 million daily chain transactions on a daily basis. Stablecoin transfer volume is one of the very key metrics that has improved substantially here. We were at that kind of $1 to $2 billion area at the beginning of the year. Now we're closer to kind of $8 to $10 billion in stablecoin transfer volume on a daily basis. Now, total value locked increasing nicely throughout the year. A little bit of a drawdown here in the past couple of weeks. DEX volumes increasing nicely here into Q4, drawing down a little bit in the past couple of weeks. Fees have been very constant. So the on-chain technicals are still looking very, very solid. It would worry me if these were moving down and to the right for longer extended periods of time, but things are still looking relatively strong for SUI on those charts. And the last time I did a SUI price prediction update, guys, was a few weeks ago on the channel. I still think if we can get to 5 trillion crypto market cap, SUI can get to $10. If we can get to 7 trillion, SUI can get to 17. And if we can get to 9 trillion, I think SUI can get to $26. So that was my latest update in terms of a price prediction on the channel. If you want me to do an updated price target video, drop your comment below this video. If we get enough comments on this video, I will put together an updated price prediction video for SUI in the next week or two. But that is my take on what's happening here. Not a bad buying zone, in my opinion. Not financial advice. Do your research. This channel has served as very good support for the past couple of years. That is it for today, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one. Very quickly, guys, if you got any value out of this SUI price action update, please just take 3 seconds, smash that thumbs up button below. Right now, under my finger, there is a thumbs up button on your YouTube screen. Smash that thumbs up button. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, grab your free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin, and we'll catch you in the next one.